My name is Micah Horton. I am the worship music director here at Second Presbyterian, and I am excited about today. This is a day that the choir has been preparing for several weeks and months, and we are excited to bring to you Antonio Vivaldi's Gloria in D major, RV 589, for those who are into like the technical catalog numbers. This is probably Antonio Vivaldi's most significant sacred work. It was probably composed sometime between 1713 and 1717 when he retired from full-time teaching. The score was intended for performance by the chorus of the orphanage that he worked at. And at this stage of his career, Vivaldi was transitioning from full-time like violin master. He was a violinist. You may have heard the dun 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 in all the chocolate commercials around Valentine's Day. That's Vivaldi. That's the most known. Okay, anyway, people get that. So he was transitioning from full-time like violin master to full-time writing sacred and secular non-sacred music. So in the Roman Catholic tradition, the Gloria text, I'm reading this from my phone, I'm not texting, I promise. The Gloria text is a hymn of praise used as the second part of like the ordinary of the Latin Mass, for those of you who are nerds like me and enjoy that kind of stuff. And it happens after the Kyrie, the Lord have mercy, Christ have mercy. It begins with the words of the angels as recounted in the Gospel of Luke. Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace to men of good will. And mysteriously the score, like the music to this, disappeared after his death and was thankfully rediscovered in the late 1920s. So for 200 years we were like, well, I don't know where this is. I don't know what's, okay, this is great. And then somebody probably pillaged an apartment or something and goes, oh, hey, here it is. I don't know. So this was found in the 1920s along with another Gloria in D major that's like less famous but like almost as good. He wrote at least 3 settings of that text, but those 2 survive. We're going to do the one that's more well known. So since the first modern performance of this one, the RV 589, in 1939, this iteration of the Gloria hymn has resonated with audiences in ways that Vivaldi never imagined. There's at least 100 different recordings of it, and it's been in a ton of, at least, I don't want to say a ton of, it's been at least featured, movements from have been featured in different like film soundtracks. Many of you will probably recognize some of the movements. Anybody who's done honor choirs or anything like that, like the Casey Metro Missouri Side 910 Honor Choir just did one of the movements just this fall. It's very, very popular, very well known. And because there were, here's an interesting fact, since there were no male choristers at that school, that orphanage that he worked at, he originally scored all the parts for female singers. We will not be asking our tenors and basses to sing way up here in the stratosphere. There since have been SATB arrangements, obviously. So he supplemented the typical Baroque orchestra of strings and basso continuo with oboe and et cetera, et cetera. We are doing it with solo organ today. Today we'll be hearing 8 out of the 12 movements. Part of it's for time's sake, part of it is just for, when you rehearse twice a week, there's only so much you can accomplish in a certain amount of time. And man, these guys are fantastic. I truly, truly believe that we are very blessed and lucky here to have the musicians that we have at this church. And you're going to see some of that excellent musicianship today. So. There are translations of the text available for us who are not fluent in Latin because it's a functionally dead language. Anyway, so without further ado, this is Antonio Vivaldi's Gloria in D major.
among the